what we had done last time, and then we will start with the today's material. Okay, so as I said, we had introduced a new construction of a new device called as enhancement MOSFET, and as you can see clearly that there is big difference between the construction between the D MOSFET and the E MOSFET, namely that there is no N channel. So inherently there is no path for conduction. So whenever I don't have any gate to source voltage, positive voltage, we don't have any flow of current, even though if I connect VDS. Okay, that is what we have seen. We have also seen that this particular construction gives rise to a very interesting feature, and that is this is P-type, this is P-type, and this is N-type. So naturally at the boundaries you have a depletion region. Okay, we have already seen that depletion region over here. It is shown like this. Okay, and why? Because necessarily when I connect VDS, so this is your VDS. If when I connect VDS, this negative, that is the N-type semiconductor is connected to positive, P-type is connected to a point which is less than this VDS or voltage at drain. So what we can say is that this junction is reverse biased. So as if there is a diode existing between this N and P, there is a diode existing between N and P, and it is essentially reverse biased. Similar is the case with the source terminal. Whenever you have this source connected to ground, means this N-type is also connected to 0, P-type is connected to also connected to 0. So because of the depletion region which is existing, which is inherent to the any PN junction, we have this diode also a reverse biased one. We have already seen that. In addition to that, we have also seen that this is a P-type material. So P-type, naturally the conductivity for any N-type material or P-type material, we have enhanced conductivity. Why? Because of the doping. We already know that. All right. Okay. So we have said that as if there is a resistive material between these two points or these two regions. Is that fine? So we'll start from here.
Yes, sir.
So no conduction is possible. Why? Because basically this diode is, you can see it is reverse biased, this diode is also reverse biased, and there is a resistive material over here. Irrespective of that, since the diodes are reverse biased, there is no flow of current when VDS is applied and VGS is 0. So when VDS is applied and VGS equal to 0, it translates to no conduction. All right. So this is the very first thing that you should understand. Now, if both VDS and VGS are set to some positive voltage which is greater than 0, the next scenario is when I increase the value of VGS to some positive value. Let us see what will happen. So if I connect, so I just copy that figure again. From Visio, just hold on for some time. This is the new condition. Okay, what we have is VGS is connected to, VGS is positive now. VDS is also positive as per the previous session. Okay, now an interesting thing will start happening. What is that? The positive terminal at gate. So when gate is positive, this positive potential of gate will push the holes in the P substrate. Okay, now where are the holes? See, there was no channel. Earlier there was no channel. So let me draw very, let me get another figure. So when I connect the drain and the source like this, body is connected to the source, obviously to the ground, and if I make a connection like this, too. So this is VGS and this is VDS. So there was no channel. Okay. Now what is going to happen is this positive potential of the gate. So this is gate, remember. So over here, this positive potential, what will be the reaction between the positive potential and the holes which are there in the P-type substrate? Are there any holes in the P-type substrate? Yes. Are there any holes?
Yes, sir.
So there are holes here. Okay, let me draw it like a hole. So there are holes here. Now what will be the reaction between the positive potential at the gate and the holes in the P-type substrate over here? What will happen? Yes. We said that the holes are as if they are positive. So what will happen? This positive potential, yes, at gate will repel the holes. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The substrate away from the junction. You're getting the picture? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So the holes will leave this particular localized region and get deeper into the P-type substrate. Okay. So when charge carriers are removed, what do you expect? So from this region, my charge carriers have been removed. So what do you expect? When there are no charge carriers, what do we call that region?
It will be act as an insulator.
So what do you call that region? It is the, yes,
Insulator.
it is the depletion region, isn't it? There is a depletion of charge, so it is called as depletion region. But at the same time, this positive VGS will attract the holes, the electrons which are there in the minority in the P-type substrate. So I'll have to do it like this. So hole electrons, of course the electrons are in minority, but they are still there, isn't it? So all these
Yes, sir.
electrons will get attracted. Electrons will get attracted to this interface. So this is called as the silicon dioxide interface, SiO2 interface. So this will get attracted. So all the electrons will accumulate, will start accumulating on this interface. Okay. So the picture now that we have is, we have electrons over here. So we have all electrons over here. All right. Is that fine? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay up to this point.
Yes, sir.
But let us write it down. But the positive gate will also attract electrons which are minority carriers in p-type substrate. These electrons will start accumulating at the interface. Okay, I've already told you what is an interface. Now what is the picture now? What is the picture? We have all the electrons accumulated over here. So as if we are forming, so localized to this region, who are in majority? What is the majority charge carrier in this region?
Holes.
Holes. अरे होल्स तो यहाँ पे चले गए ना, होल्स तो यहाँ पे चले गए सब, होल्स तो चले गए सबस्ट्रेट में डीपर, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहाँ पे एक्यूमुलेट हो गए. तो ये रीजन, दिस रीजन will be having what majority charge carriers? Electrons. So as if what we have done, because of this positive potential of the gate, we have induced an N channel. Simply means that we have created an N channel because of the positive VGS. So as if this region now behaves as N-type semiconductor. This region. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have N channel which is created or induced. So it is an induced N channel. Now we have N channel. Again, just like D MOSFET, we have VDS. So now will the current start flowing? Will the current start flowing? Acha, tell me one thing again. Will these electrons be going and going towards the gate, getting absorbed by the gate? Will these electrons be absorbed by the gate? Why not?
So we have the SiO2 layer.
Excellent. Because of the SiO2 layer, these electrons will not get absorbed in the base. So it will only start accumulating here, as if the negative charges are getting accumulated on this surface, this region. Okay. Now, what can you say when, if I increase VGS still further? What will happen if VGS is increased still further? Simple guess. Anyone?
Sir, the electrons will penetrate from SiO2.
No. Why will electron travel into SiO2 layer? It is not possible. In simple plain words, all the electrons, more and more electrons will start coming in. है ना?
Yes, sir.
More and more electrons will start getting accumulated.
Yes, sir.
Agreed? So we can
Yes,
say
sir.
that the concentration, this implies that the concentration of electrons
Increases.
will increase. And this increases up to such a level, or it will increase up to such a level which can support the current flow through it. Okay, so this electrons will go on accumulating in this region, and up to such an extent that a measurable current will start flowing. I'll use a different color. A measurable current will start flowing like this. You getting it? So if I increase VGS still further, more electrons will accumulate near the interface, and to such an extent that even it will start supporting the current flowing from drain to source. Now, in a significant increase in drain current ID is called as VT, or threshold voltage. Please, at this point, I want you to make it very clear. Don't confuse this with VT, which we have already done in previous lectures. What was VT? VT was KT by Q. This VT and this VT are totally different. They are not related at all. It is just because the suffixes are same, you may land up in confusion. Are you getting this, all of you? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
VT is whenever we refer with MOSFET, VT is always this. What? The level of VGS that results in significant increase in the drain current. Whereas this VT is voltage equivalent of temperature, and this is more related to the BJT. So don't get confused between these two terms. I'm repeating this again and again. Please write it down somewhere. They are totally different. Okay? Is that fine? Now in the data sheet, if you look into the data sheet of a typical MOSFET, this VT is given as VGS into bracket TH. It is mentioned like this. VGS threshold. So what does this VGS threshold tell you from the data sheet? It tells you that you should have VGS equal to that particular voltage in order that the drain current starts flowing, which is also termed as VT, which is the threshold voltage of the MOSFET. So as I increase VGS to VT, some drain current will start flowing. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubts, any questions up to this point? Please raise your questions if you have any. I'll just give you a minute to sink in all the concepts. No questions? So it is a simple mechanism that you have to simply remember. All right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many of you are active? I see only 2 or 3 students active.
Yes.
Yes.
Remember, I can,
Yes, sir.
monitor your
Yes, sir.
your microphones. All right. So what we have achieved is that by some voltage Vg, S equal to Vt, I am in a position to induce the channel and hence the drain current. Now at the same time, we already have seen that this channel was not existing. So I can write since channel is non-existent, with VGS equal to 0. When VGS was 0, there was no channel. And when was it created? When VGS was increased in the positive direction. Okay. So we can say that the device is enhanced. It is enhanced with the creation of the channel due to VGS positive. And that is why we call this as the enhancement MOSFET or eMOSFET. Now, if you look at all the microelectronics industry, which has revolutionized the electronics and the devices and so on and so forth, all of them use this MOSFET, eMOSFET. So the cell phones that you have, right from the cell phones that you have to maybe your computers, everything, all the chips, all the microchips, they are based on this MOSFET technology. That is the reason why I'm saying it is very, very important. If you want to make a career in very large scale integration or microelectronics, maybe you want to follow your MS program in microelectronics, this topic is very, very important. Okay. Now, going logically forward, as VGS is still increased, beyond the threshold level, the density of free carriers in the induced channel will also increase, resulting in the increased drain current. So who is controlling the drain current?
For VGS.
VGS.
Yes. So VGS is controlling the drain current. This is basically the most important mechanism. The input voltage is controlling the output current. This is the input voltage and this is the output current. So VGS or input voltage controls the drain current. So that is basically the transistor action. Of course, here in this case, what we can say is that there is VGS and ID will have certain relationship. Again, that will be called as some sort of transconductance. Just like your field effect transistor. Okay. Now, if the other way around, if VGS is kept constant, now we want to find out what will be the effect of VDS, that is the output voltage, on ID. So if VGS is kept constant and we increase VDS, and VDS is increased, what will happen? This effect you have already studied in JFET. ID will reach a saturation level. Okay, and it will not increase further. This effect we have seen. Yes, anyone who remember JFET? This is the pinch off process. You studied this, no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this is
sir.
pinch off process.
So you are not audible.
So our next topic of interest is very, very important. Why do we have the pinch off or eMOSFET channel pinch off? Okay, for that I'll have to again get hold of a figure. Just ignore the graphs which are following right now, because we are interested in knowing the mechanism first. Is this visible? Is this visible to all?
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
what we have is again the N channel, the source which is connected to ground. Body is not shown because it is already connected to ground. Gate, we have VGS over here and we have VDS over here. This should be VDS. Sorry. Let me correct the figure. All right, now, so we have VDS, we have VGS. I've just used a different way in which instead of showing a battery, I've shown a voltage source, a DC voltage source. Nothing different here. So don't get intimidated by different symbols. So this picture is clear. Source is connected to ground. Drain is connected to VDS, gate is connected to VGS. Okay, and whatever is the current flowing is ID. This is the direction of the current flow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now here we see one very interesting thing, and that is MOSFET acts like a voltage dependent resistor. Very huge statement which actually sums up the mechanism. Why I am calling this MOSFET as a voltage dependent resistor? Because we have already seen what have we seen? That VGS, look here, VGS controls VD. VGS controls ID. Right? So I can say that MOSFET acts like a voltage dependent resistor. But when is this possible?
Yes, sir.
When VGS is greater than VT. Only in this condition. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This also gives us one interesting thing, which we have already seen here. If VGS is kept constant and VDS increases, look here, if VGS is kept constant, ID will reach a saturation level. So it will be constant after that. The ID will be constant after that. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because of that pinch off, ID will be constant. So I can also say that if drain is sufficiently positive, MOSFET will act like what? Current source. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is the concept of a current source? It will keep on pumping current irrespective of the voltage across it, right?
Yes.
That's the concept of
Yes,
current
sir.
source. So if VGS is positive, if VGS is kept constant, of course, it has to follow this VGS greater than VT. And if I increase VDS, there won't be, after a certain point, there won't be any change in ID. And you'll see that the MOSFET will act as a current source. We also observe that, number one, to form a channel, the potential difference between gate and oxide, that is a silicon oxide, silicon interface, we already know this interface now, must exceed what? VT. Observation number 2, if the drain voltage,
Sir, must be equal to होना चाहिए ना sir?
yeah,
Sir, must be equal to VT.
greater than or equal to. It is actually greater than. We'll see later than it, that it has to be greater than.
Okay, sir.
ये बोला है ना इधर VGS greater than VT. देख रहे हैं इधर? This one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it has to be greater than Vt. Then only the channel formation will be there, no? If drain voltage remains higher than source voltage, then the voltage at each point along the channel with respect to ground increases as we go from source towards drain. This needs some explanation. So what we have, if the drain voltage remains higher than source voltage, naturally that is going to be the case. The voltage at each point along the channel. So we have this channel here. We have this channel. You see this channel? Why is this channel marked like this, like a resistor? I'm just asking you so that I just want to know whether you have followed it or not. Why I'm showing this as a resistor? Guys?
There is a resistance developed between the
It's
terminals.
not the resistance developed, it is the resistance of the P-type substrate.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Or now, even though we have N over here, now it's no longer P-type, it's N channel. N channel is induced here, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
agreed? This N channel will also have its own resistance along the length of the channel. Yes?
Yes, sir.
And this resistance
sir.
is distributed. So as I go from source to drain, this is the direction. You see that the resistor values will vary. If you take resistance here, it will be different. If you take resistance here, it will be different. If you take resistance here, it will be different. Isn't it? Yes or no? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So if resistor is different according to Ohm's law, the potential at these points also will be different.
Yes, sir.
Different.
Yes, sir.
Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you are not audible.
Guys? Guys, are you there?
Yes, sir. You were not
Yes,
audible.
Okay, seems some kind of a call drop. Okay, now are you audible?
Yes,
Now am I
sir.
audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let us call this point voltage as V1. If I move further, see drain current is flowing like this. This is the dotted arrow with direction of the drain current. So there will be some other voltage here, which will be different from V1. Let us call it V2. Agreed? Then let us take some other point here. This will be V3. So what can you say about the relationship between V1, V2 and V3? V3 is greater than V2 is greater than V1. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Why? Obviously, look at the current is same, but the resistance offered here is less. So voltage here
Yes,
will
sir.
be V1, which is let us
Less.
say less value as compared to this. Again, as compared to this, it will be still less. I mean, V3 will be still higher than V2. V2 is higher than V1. So as I go from source to drain, the voltage goes on increasing.
Sir, why are we measuring the resistance from source to drain?
Yes, obviously. We are measuring the, and what is source connected to ground? So it is with respect to ground. So as if you have okay, a drain here, source here, source is connected to ground. So if I measure some current is flowing here. Okay, let us be more specific. This is VDS. So the current is flowing, drain current is flowing. Through this resistor. Now just imagine that you have a way of measuring the voltage at this point. Okay, so I measure the voltage, I'll call this V1 with respect to ground. Then I measure voltage V2 again with respect to ground. Measure voltage V3 again with respect to ground. You see that as I go from source to drain, the voltage increases. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This concept should be very clear. Huh? Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that is the reason why if I plot the voltage Vx, if this is the x direction, if I plot Vx, which is the potential at these points, I get something like this. And if I call this, now this channel, I can call this as this total channel, the distance between source and drain, which is also called as the channel length L. So this point will be L. So as I go from 0 to L, the voltage goes on increasing. So you can just plot it here like this. So this was your V1. This was your V2. And this was your V3. Do you see this? The voltage is going on increasing if I travel from source to drain. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So why does this effect arise? It arises because the gradual voltage drop, also clearly mentioned here, voltage drop along the channel resistance. Okay? Is that fine? So now you have understood why this potential goes on increasing. Okay? So this is the potential difference. We will see what is the potential difference. Let us say the potential difference here is Vg. Here it is less than Vg. And here It is VG minus VD. Yes, this may sound a little bit confusing. What am I doing right now? I am trying to find out why there is this pinch off effect. This is VG. So voltage difference between the gate, okay, and the drain. Voltage difference between the gate and the drain will also have this effect. In fact, it is going to have this effect. So what is the difference between, at this point, let us say at this point, okay, this is very, very small. V1 is very small. Guys, are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
V1 is very, very small. Just I have exaggerated this, but V1 is very, very small. Okay. So what is the potential of source with respect to gate here? At this V1, which is very, very small. Can I write it like this? Voltage. First of all, what we will do is we will mark the locations also, so that things will be more clear. Call this location 1, call this location 2, call this location 3. So at location 1, voltage difference between source and gate VG. You getting this point? It may sound a little bit
Yes.
intimidating.
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes, okay, I'll repeat. I want to find out at location 1, I want to find out what is the difference between, potential difference between the source and the gate. Again, I repeat, I want to find out what is the difference between source and gate. Because remember, voltage between source and gate, which is also called as a gate substrate potential difference. Okay. Why? Because substrate is connected to source. So it is one and the same thing. So if I want to find out what is the effective voltage between source and gate at point 1, at location 1, what should we have? VG is already there. The entire VG is here. Okay. But this point is having, is V1. So can I write it like this? So at point 1 itself, so V1 I'll say, V1. So the net difference between the gate and the source is some voltage VG minus V1. That is the potential difference between the source and the gate or substrate. Are you getting this? Which is nearly equal to VG because V1 is small. All right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
If you still have a doubt, please raise it. My objective is to find out, again, who is responsible for creating the drain current? VGS. That is voltage between gate and source. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
my
sir.
intention is to find out, is that voltage between the gate and source a constant value throughout the channel? No. That is
Okay.
what I'm trying to tell you. So voltage difference between gate and source. This VGS may prove to be a little bit confusing. So I'll simply write voltage between gate and source, because VGS, you feel that VGS is a constant value because it is shown like a battery. No. Effective voltage between gate and source is Vg minus V1. Why it is Vg minus V1? Look at this picture again. At this point, it is V1, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The difference will be Vg minus V1. Okay. Now, as I move to point 2, again, it is going to be Vg minus V2. Now, V2 is going to be a significant value. So, it is less than this Vg. And at point 3, ultimately, it is going to be this Vg minus the entire drain voltage. And that is the reason why I have marked this point as Vg minus Vd. So, in a similar way, my voltage between, so if I try to plot the gate substrate potential difference, this is x, again this is along the x direction, it will start with the highest value Vg here and it will end with this value, which is Vg minus Vd. Is that all right? I'm interested in finding out the gate substrate potential difference. That was the objective right from the beginning. Or the gate substrate potential difference is not constant along the channel. Okay now?
Yes, sir.
So we can summarize that the potential difference between the gate and oxide silicon interface decreases along the x-axis. And the density of the electrons will also follow the same trend. All right? And that is the reason why you have a different picture altogether. Let me copy that picture now. You see that? What is happening? Is this picture clear? Because we have this potential difference between the gate substrate, which is a varying quantity like this, the charge distribution of the electrons will also follow the same trend. So here the potential difference is very large. So you can see the thickness of this channel is large. And as it goes along the x direction, ultimately it is going to taper down and falling to a minimum value at x equal to L. Okay, so actually speaking, it is going to go like this. like this. Is it clear to all of you? The channel thickness will go on tapering. But if the drain voltage is high enough to produce Vg minus Vd less than or equal to Vt. Yes. Look at this condition here. At this point it is Vg minus Vd. So as if I let us say if my Vd, I increase Vd still further. If I increase the voltage at drain still further, what will happen to this value? Ultimately, yes?
Equal to G.
Yes, it may decrease to Vt. So Vg minus Vd may decrease to Vt, and if I increase this still further, this Vg minus Vd may become less than Vt. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So if that happens, what will happen to the channel at that point? Who is responsible for creating channel?
We Sir, current will start flowing.
The voltage becomes less than Vt. So the channel will, at that point onwards, the channel will, yes, cease to exist. This is what has happened. So if my Vd is more, the channel, there is no channel here. You see here, there is no channel. Look at this place. There is no channel. Guys,
Yes, sir.
so there is no channel, or channel will cease to exist, and we say that at this point the channel is pinched off. The channel is pinched off. Okay. So literally there will be no channel between these two points. Then obviously the logical question that comes to your mind is, in that case, how will the drain current still continue to flow? Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
Obvious question is, how does the drain current still flow if there is no channel at this end? Okay, this region no problem, but whenever we have this pinch off and there is no channel, how will the current still flow? So this area, I will mark this as this L as L1. This was our L. So the distance between L and L1 is very, very small. And this region over here, you'll see that, I'll just remove this. In fact, here you have some sort of a depletion region still surrounding, isn't it? Because this is interface between N and P. Let me draw it nicely. So there is a depletion region here. And here, the electrons coming over here, they come over here at this point. And they experience a very large electric field. They experience a very large electric field and they are rapidly swept into this region because of this electric field. Why electric field is very, very large? Because even though the voltage difference may be small, this L1 and difference between L and L1 is very small, and the potential, the electric field E is given as volts per distance. So even it is a very small voltage, it is L minus L1. This denominator being very, very small, the electric field intensity is tremendously high. And so these electrons are swept into the n-type, and this actually constitutes the current. So in spite of the channel being pinched off, still the drain current will continue to flow at a corresponding value. Okay, so this is the concept of pinch off. All right, I think we have already crossed the time. So I think I hope all of you will revise this concept before the next lecture, because this is going to be required when we actually study the characteristics of the MOSFET. Okay, so any doubts, any questions till this point?
No, sir.
Yes?
No, sir.
If there are any doubts, please feel free to ask the queries. Don't keep it to yourself. This is very, very intricate kind of a concept. Okay, so you can just go through the whatever we have done today, and then tomorrow you can raise your queries regarding this topic. All right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so then we will stop here for today.
Thank you, sir.